I just want to say thanks to Uncle Tony for this weekend's meet and greet, and Ultra Kathy and everybody who put on a show down at Uncle Tony's global headquarters. Had a great time, saw some good cars, listened to Tony's Hot Rods run, had some burgers,
cool
then
cars.
we left.
I'm Bobby Taylor. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, born and raised. Moved to Florida for a couple of years, but other than that, I've been here my whole life. I grew up working on cars. I had a friend when I was younger. He had a circle track car, and I would change brakes on his car when I was 12, 13 years old. I was changing brakes on his cars, getting ready for the races. Probably my first summer job, I was doing brakes on diesel trucks. Just the trailers. I didn't do the trucks, I just did the trailers. But I've always been around cars my whole life. My uncles always had cars, grew up with them, and they've just always been there. I like taking something that looks broke down and weathered and worn out and just making it look new again. It's very rewarding. You feel like you accomplished something at the end of it.
What's your favorite car or dream car?
I would say probably the 64 Daytona Coupe. I just like the car. It's like the predecessor to the AC Cobra. Beautiful shape. Design of the car is just gorgeous.
Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Just that easy.
Bye, y'all.
Hey everybody, it's Jim from Bennett's Hot Rod Garage. We've got something kind of special in this one. We've picked up a 1954 Corvette that is a largely original car, a true survivor. This is one of the original lost 36 Corvettes given away by VH1 in 1989. One person won all of the cars. It's one for every year from 53 to 89, except for 83, which they didn't make a Corvette in 83. The gentleman that won the cars pretty much instantly sold them, and an artist bought these cars, and they were going to be, I guess, what I would refer to as butchered for an art project, but it's one of every year of production. How I came across this car is kind of weird. Buddy of mine in Connecticut knows somebody that knows somebody that knew somebody who's related to somebody who knew somebody that had this car, and was looking for a place just to do a drivability assessment and fix a few things. It is a great running car, but when these cars were found after 30 years in a parking garage, they were cleaned up, made to run, but not restored. And this car doesn't need to be restored. It's a 60,000 mile 54 Corvette. 6-cylinder car, automatic. It's just kind of cool that we got chosen to do this. You can go to lostcorvettes.com, or you can go to Stand for the Troops, sftt.org, and you can still buy raffle tickets for these because there are still 20 yet to be raffled off. So this woman actually paid $3 for a raffle ticket to get this car. That's a kind of a good deal, which never happens to me, but it's just cool to be part of it and to work on this car. We're going to do some more episodes with the history and the build up to the raffle that got this car, and we'll get her in here and her husband, and they're going to talk a little bit about the car. But I mean, as you can see in the pictures, the car is just gorgeous. We're gonna do, brakes and ball joints and fuel and things like that, just to make the car more user-friendly for them, but we're not going to alter the car in any way. It's almost a top-flight Corvette if you know anything about Corvette judging. The car is so original that it's just a few points away from a top-flight car. That's about where we're at with this one. Stand for the Troops, which is sftt.org, CorvetteHeroes.com. Chris Mazzilli is actually the founder of Corvette Heroes, has just made this all happen, which is just awesome. All of the proceeds from the first raffle of 10 cars went to the National Guard Educational Fund. The second one is going to Stand for the Troops. The first 10 cars were, all the proceeds went to the National Guard Educational Fund. The second round that's going to benefit from the next 10 cars that are raffled off is Stand for the Troops, sftt.org. They locate treatments and fund treatments for veterans with traumatic brain injuries and PTSD. It's a phenomenal cause. It really, really is. It's something that really needs, and It needs more attention, and it's just a cool thing to do. A little history on the lost 36 Corvettes. They were given away by VH1. One gentleman in New Jersey won them, pretty much decided that he didn't have any room to put 36 cars, so he sold them off to one person who he was going to do an art project where these cars were going to get murals and flowers and all kinds of things. And you know, I've never been a Corvette purist by any stretch. I do like Corvettes, but to do that to one of every year car would just kind of be a sin. So they got saved. Chris Mazzilli came up with it, with this CorvetteHeroes.com, and figured out how we're going to donate all the money. The Heller and Spindler families of New York City owned the parking garage that these were in. As you can see in the photos, these cars were just parked in a garage. I mean, there was no special treatment, no car covers, no encasing, I mean, nothing. They were just hauled in there, and there they sat for 30 years. Some of them better than others. This car actually cleaned up really, really nice. You can see this car in the pictures as it was when it was originally found. It was pretty bad, but the car was just selectively restored. It is truly a survivor. It only had a couple of things done to it. Original chrome is still on the car, 60,000 original miles. It runs and drives. They were made to run, but they weren't really done to the level that this woman wants to be able to drive this car. So we're going to make sure that the car's safe to drive, and we'll go from there. Things we're going to look for on this car are suspension issues, brakes, fuel lines, brake lines, door gaps, things like one of the doors opens a little bit difficult. The original roof is still tucked under the boot there, and I don't know if we're going to get into that because she's probably never going to have the top up on the car because it'll never see rain again. So we may just leave that alone. Speedometer doesn't work. We're going to get that working. Just some minor stuff. Button up the exhaust is a little bit loud. There's a couple of tears in the roof, but due to the fact that it's all original, we're not replacing it. We're not going to take away from the originality of this car at all. I mean, you can see the seats. These are the original seats. They've been cleaned. That's about it. Carpet's frayed in a couple of spots. They're only original once, and this one's going to stay pretty much as original as possible. As you can see, the speedometer's stuck on 25 or 30 miles an hour. Odometer still actually works on this car, but the speedometer doesn't, so we're going to make that work. One of the things that really amazed me about this car is when I got in it to put it on a wrecker and haul it here, radio still works. The original radio in the car is still fully functional. It's pretty routine maintenance, but it's a real special car. I'm pleased that we get to do it.